I'm your host, Kelly Morgan, indie author and indie publisher. Welcome to another episode of The Author's Mic. Welcome to today's episode. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of The Author's Mic. So, y'all, this is the last Wednesday of the year. So today's episode is a little different. I'm not going to interview anyone. There's no guest because it's not Monday, right? And I'm not going to do like a how to do or anything like that. But I am going to do what I thought would be cool is I'm going to take the year in review and I'm going to look back. So here's some facts about the Author's Mic you may not know. The Author's Mic officially debuted on March 16th of 2025. And since then, I have created 88 episodes. And you know what? And when I say it, it doesn't even feel real. And when I started the show, it was simple. It was a space for indie authors and readers and storytellers to feel heard and seen and supported, in a place where, creatives in this space could market their book and I could market my book. And, that was kind of the whole idea. It was a place where we could honestly talk about the journey, the good, the bad, the messy middle, and without pretending that it was glamorous, right? That was the whole idea when I started this back in March. And so, what am I most proud of this year? Well, first of all, I showed up consistently, y'all. 88 episodes. Actually, going to be more than that because when I counted them, it wasn't quite the end of the month. So, this is going to be probably like 92 episodes or something like that. But anyway, consistently showing up every Monday and Wednesday doing the Author's Mic. Week after week, episode after episode, I turned the mic on. Whether the numbers were encouraging or confusing, whether I was energized or exhausted, I stayed committed. And there's nothing more deflating than, say, going to YouTube and go into your video and knowing that you are the only person that watched it. But you know what? It didn't matter. I still showed up. It didn't matter the number of followers. It didn't matter the number of downloads, because I told myself that I was going to build this thing even when nobody was watching. And then some of you guys found me anyway, right? So when I look back over those 88 episodes, there's a few conversations that really stand out for me. I think my favorite episodes were the self-care ones, the moments where I got really honest about burnout and boundaries and trying to be creative while working and living and just simply being human, talking about rest and stepping away and what it feels like when you're doing all of this by yourself. What it's like to use social media as your scorecard and how that fucking sucks. Just gonna put it out there. That shit sucks, right? And just putting it out there. I also love the episodes when I was reading from my books and I was, reading from Wait for It, or I was reading from You Sound Wide, or and I was talking about the stories and how I became to, how I wrote them, and really, I thought, giving real experiences and the behind the scenes, right? And then those episodes reminded me why I even write in the first place, and how sharing your work out loud is vulnerable, but it's also very, very powerful, right? So another bright highlight this year was telling my own story, not just my book, but how I even got here, right? And how that feels and how I'm learning in real time. Like, I have put me building this platform just out there. I haven't tried to sugarcoat it or whatever. I've been very honest, right? And I didn't plan the Author's Mic to be a whole behind the scenes narrative, but it kind of turned out that way. Every time I turned on the mic, I just wanted to be like, this is what's really going in. And the more that I leaned into that, the better I thought I was as an author, as a person, and I liked the way that I was showing up, right? And then I invited the guest, right? And at first, I didn't know if anybody was going to come or not, because you never know if people are going to show. And let me tell you something. I love That's probably the best part of the Author's Mic, is when somebody joins me. Okay, so Author's Mic started in March on the 16th. My first guest joined me April 2nd, and everything after that shifted, right? It went from me talking into the microphone by myself to actually sharing the space with others, which is what my intention was the whole time, right? So every author, every expert, every creative who came on the author's mic brought something special to the table. They brought their insight, they brought their vulnerability, they brought their craft, they brought their strategy, they brought their laughter, their real heart, and they brought their talk. And I am so grateful. So I wanted to do a little something extra. I wanted to shout out all the guests, but I just didn't want to shout everybody and move on. I wanted to actually call everybody's name out, right? Everybody that's been on thus far, right? From the time that I'm recording this episode. So Clarence and Arthur and Jeff and Stephen and Jamie and Chandrika and Brandy and Barbara and Sharon and Ryan and Arvita and Mark and Mariah and RC and Dr. Barry and Innie Elise and Joy Jackson and Christine and Dorcas and Terrain and Brian and Minera. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And guess what? Thank you for trusting me with your story. Thank you for saying yes to a still growing platform. Thank you for bringing your honesty and your wisdom and your energy to the space. And if you're watching this on YouTube, I'm going to actually put every single link to all of their episodes, and I'm going to actually put the Spotify links to every episode so you can go click and listen to their episodes, right? Because I've learned a lot. I've learned about, the authors might help me learn that how you show up matters, even when it feels like nobody's watching, right? I've learned that consistency is a kind of courage. I've learned that there's so much power in telling the truth about your process, not just coming polished all the time, right? I've learned that I feel my best. Oh my God, I am like at my best when I am helping others. And when I hit record and let me say, this is what I figured out so far. Ooh, I love that shit because I feel like I'm helping somebody. And hopefully I am, because this isn't just about my books, y'all. This is about building something that lifts other indie authors and connects them with readers who actually care. And you, if you're listening right now, you're a part of that, right? So whether you've listened to one episode or all 88, thank you. Thank you for pressing play. Thank you for sharing episodes with your friends, your writing group, your book club. Thank you for every download, every comment, every DM, every quiet listening on your commute or on your way to work or on your walk or just whenever. And that's just the beginning. There are so many more great conversations coming. Great guests, more solo episodes, readings from my book. We'll talk about the journey, and obviously, yes, more guests. So, if you're an author, a poet, an editor, a bookseller, a podcaster, and you're doing something beautiful in the indie space, come be a guest. I would love to hear from you. Head over to Bright Headed Publishing, go to the Be a Guest tab, be a guest, right? If you are a writer, right? Um, you can actually go to the website and download the free guide. It's 44 pages. Go get it. Start your journey, right? If you are a reader, join our book club. Man, this book club is growing. I would love for you to be a part of it. Join the book club, the IRS. All the information is too on the website. I think it's under the More tab, and you'll find it, right? If you are an author, Trust Bridge is coming. And I promised you, I talked about Trust Bridge in the last episode of the Author's Mic. Trust Bridge is coming. If you're an author, I really, truly hope that it helps and you want to be a part of it. Right, you guys? So I want to just thank everybody this year for making the Author's Mic more than I ever thought it would be, right? I really didn't know what to expect when I decided to go ahead and do this. I knew that I had intention behind it. I knew what I wanted it to be, but I didn't know what it would turn out to be. So thank you to all the guests. All of the links to all of their episodes are in the description. Go check them out, right? Support them as indie authors. All right, you guys, have a beautiful rest of your year. 2026 is going to be bigger and better than ever. The Author's Mic I'm going to keep doing it because I feel like it's been a win and it's been one of those things that have worked for me. So Author's Mic will still be coming on in 2026. You guys go, like I said, go out and make it a best, the rest of your year, the best rest of your year. Have a beautiful best rest of your year. Happy New Year, and I will catch you guys on the other side.